I'm going to go ahead and call this evening's meeting of the Clayton City Council to order. Please show that all City Council members, with the exception of Vice Mayor Shuey, are present. Please stand with me and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, first item is the consent calendar.
I want to pull item 3A. I have a quick correction to that, and I'll make a motion to approve items 3B, C, and D.
All right. Then move then that we accept the consent calendar with the exception of 3A.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye. And then on item 3A, can I just make a correction on the last item, item 9, the council items, in addition to the item that Councilmember Diaz noted, I had mentioned if we could have for future discussion or incorporation the AB 1505 PALMA fix that addresses BMR requirements for rental units. So if we could add that note to the end.
All right. And then move approval with...
Yeah, and with that amendment, I'd like to make a motion to approve item 3A. Second.
Okay, been moved and seconded that we approve item 3A as amended. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No. All right, moving on to recognitions and presentations. We start off with special recognition of our representative to the county county library system, Joyce Atchison, who has been our representative, I believe, for the entire time.
I think I had 2 years off.
2 years?
Oh. A couple years off.
Yeah, you did.
Slacker.
Joyce is retiring, and we wanted to recognize her wonderful service. She was one of the co-founders, really, of our community library here, so we all have her to thank for the wonderful library we have here in Clayton. So thank you very much.
I enjoyed doing it.
Wanted to give you...
Okay. And if you have spare time, we're always looking for volunteers, and it's a very rewarding thing.
Do you want to use the mic?
Dude, hello?
Okay.
Hold the plaque. Take the mic down.
Okay.
Do you really think I need a mic after having
Yes.
been a Girl Scout leader for 10 years?
It's
No.
picked up. We are being televised, so.
I know.
For the audience here, a big audience out there
I
on
know.
TV.
I know.
So we do have a very nice plaque that we wanted to give Joyce. It reads, Clayton's representative, Contra Costa Library Commission, July 2003 to January 2017. That's quite a term.
It is.
And we really appreciate that.
And it was fun.
But I also have some additional recognitions. One I'd like to read from our state senator, Joyce Atchison, Contra Costa County Library Commission, on behalf of the California State Legislature and the people of the 7th Senate District, I commend you for your service on the Contra Costa County Library Commission and extend my deepest appreciation for your dedication to our libraries and your community. Thank you for your service, Senator Stephen Glazer.
Oh, how nice.
So that will look nice on your wall.
Yes.
And we have something very similar from our assemblyman. It reads very similar. I want to join with others and congratulate you for your service as a Contra Costa County Library Commissioner. Your work has made a positive impact on the residents of the city of Clayton. Your passion and commitment to the library and to people have earned you the respect and admiration of your community. On behalf of the people of District 14, congratulations, Assembly Member Timothy Grayson. So congratulations,
Thank you.
Joyce. We really appreciate your service.
I have enjoyed it. It was great.
All right, good, thank you. And next up, and that's what fills the audience on nights like this, is our recipients of this term of the Do the Right Thing. And it's recognizing, I believe it's kindness for this particular observation. And we have representatives from 3 of our local schools that we're going to be able to recognize. And I will call the names. Actually, if we can have from the elementary school, Mount Diablo Elementary, Don Edwards.
Don's out today. I'm Joe Burrow, the vice principal.
Joe, would you please come forward, please? So we have 2 students to recognize from the Diablo Elementary, and that would be Sloan Smith and Alexa Fung. So if you'd like to call them up.
So can I also have their teachers, Miss Pilon and Miss Shelley, come on up to honor Alexa and Sloan. Sorry, Sloan. It's been a very long day. So I'm going to have your teachers share a little bit more about you guys, because I know you've been doing awesome things at Mount Diablo Elementary, because we really stress the importance of kindness. But I believe your teachers can speak more to the great things you guys have been doing.
All right. This is one of my amazing students, and she is receiving a kindness award tonight. And when she was asked about being kind, she compared herself to Martin Luther King Jr., which I think is just an amazing thing, that she has the knowledge and the kindness, and to relate herself to someone so amazing, I felt was just incredible. A part of our core values is to be kind. It's something we practice every day, and we recite it quite often. When she's in class, she's often thinking of others before herself, and she thinks of Mrs. Pilon quite often as well. She shows empathy for others, which she puts herself in other people's shoes. And I think that's a rare quality for someone quite this young, and an amazing quality. So congratulations. The Kindness Award is going to Alexa Fung.
All right, now this here too is not your ordinary kindergartner. She is Sloan Smith, and Sloan is a recipient of the Kindness Award by presenting herself on a daily basis in a way that stands out amongst the many other students in my class. So this year my class consists of a group with various learning needs, and Sloan can be found opening doors for those around her. She gives praise and attention to students who have a hard time communicating with others, and she'll sit at library time looking at books with students who struggle to build relationships, and is always sharing a smile or sending positive words to those around her. So congratulations, Sloan Smith.
I actually have more recognition certificates for both of them. For Sloan, here's 2, one from State Senator Stephen Glazier, and also one from the Assemblyman Tim Grayson. So there's lots of recognition. We really appreciate the examples that you've been setting for your other students at the elementary school there. We also have 2 certificates for Alexa, and also from the State Senator and the State Assemblyman for our district. So I wanted to recognize that wonderful recognition that you're receiving. So thank you very much. Now, you can have a seat. Have a seat now. We'll call all of the students back up at the end. Okay, now from the middle school, we have 2 students as well. And Patty, I see you back there. 2 students, Garrett Alton and Casey Montgomery.
Thank you. So we have Garrett Alton and Casey Montgomery. So I've been selecting students to come to the City Council since the inception of Do the Right Thing, and I have to tell you, these are 2 of the best. That I'm so excited to bring them, and they really exemplify kindness. So one of the things I always promote is I talk to the students about being a little kinder than necessary, and these 2 certainly exhibit that. Garrett, his teacher says, one of his teachers told me he's a great sportsman. He's very competitive, but is always, when he wins, will shake the other person's hand, and he always is just, you can sense when the students are just happy, pleasant, just happy to be there. So Garrett exemplifies a student that we love to have, that is really engaged in his learning. So congratulations, Garrett. So Casey, again, also, she's one of those students that, see, they both have wonderful smiles, and they walk around school, and you always can see them. They smile, they greet you. And Casey is our CJSF president this year, and what her teachers say is that she is an outstanding student, but she is also so kind. She's always willing to help others. She's leading our Go Green campaign, so she'll be out there helping the kids sort their garbage into the right buckets. So congratulations, Casey.
And we also have more certificates of recognition for both of these outstanding students. Garrett? And that's a certificate of recognition from State Senator Glazier as well as Assemblyperson Grayson. And these are two for you as well. Casey, thank you very much. Very proud to recognize your wonderful recognition for that nice trait that you're showing every day. So appreciate it. Thank you. And last, we have two more students then from the high school, the Clayton Valley Charter High School. And I believe we have Bob Ralston. Bob is not present. Do we have anyone able to recognize the two students then from the middle school, from the charter school? Well, then I'll go ahead and do that then. Henry Smith and Zach Storm. Both of them are being recognized for kindness at the high school level. So are they present this evening?
Uh-oh.
No.
Somebody didn't get the word to them.
Okay, that's why there's no one here to present that. We'll make sure they get their recognition and may even invite them back so it can be a public recognition event. So thank you. Well, let's get the four students that were recognized then this evening back up for a group picture. You want to take that?
Bring your certificates. Janet's going to get
Okay, Janet will get that. Do you have your certificates that you also got that you can hold those up?
Got to hold them up so they show your name.
Right there. Nice.
Turn it around so they can read your name.
There you go, like that. Perfect.
It's called your grip and grin
Okay.
shot. There you go.
Very nice.
There'll be plenty of time after she gets her picture, and then she'll move out.
2, 3. All right, let's get it.
Okay.
Paparazzi now.
You want to take
Parents
some more
can go.
family pictures?
Yeah.
Very good.
Oh,
One more.
one more.
All right, thank you very much. All right, the next item on the agenda then is a presentation on the Contra Costa Senior Policy Platform 2020. I believe Debbie Toth? Toth?
I'll be whatever you want me to be.
Okay.
So, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, is that on? I'm naturally
on.
just loud, so it's hard to know. So, good evening, Mayor Hayden and honorable members of the Council of Clayton. I'm very excited to be here for my first time. Not in Clayton, but before you. So, tonight I wanted to just briefly paint a picture of how we came to create an aging platform for Contra Costa County, and then to ask you to consider what you think of that policy platform, and then ask for you to potentially participate in something that will bring not just aging-friendly communities to Clayton, but communities where we are friendly to children and to the aging population. So I will get to that. So first off, what brought us to this point was sort of this recognition of the massively growing aging demographic in, not just in Contra Costa County and in California, but in our entire nation, right? We have a graying of the nation. So our first sort of look at some of the growth in California statistics for the aging population, 7,000 Californians turn 65 every week. That's kind of phenomenal, right? 30,000 per month, 365,000 per year. So these statistics sort of led us to, we really need to do something about this. And what is that something? So that something was gathering from all over the county stakeholders. So transportation providers, senior service providers, senior centers, county planners, city staff, board of supervisors. We brought in a whole variety of folks from West, South, Central, and East Contra Costa County with a consultant who spent 30 years doing this kind of work. And we had an incredible 3-time presidential appointee, Professor Torres Gill, come and kick us off. And we spent one full day, 1 half day sessions leading this facilitated discussion where we looked at gaps, needs, where we are, where we want to be, and we created this, we articulated this policy platform. So, next slide. All right, so in Contra Costa County specifically, the aging population that is 65 to 74 years old is going to grow by, in the next 40 years, 125%, ages 75 to 84 by 198%, and 85 and older by 299%. And these numbers come directly from the California Department of Finance. I did not make them up to impress you tonight. Although they're impressive, right? So something just to point out too, that 85 and older population that's growing by 299% has almost a 50% chance of having Alzheimer's or dementia. That's a pretty impressive number, considering that people who have Alzheimer's or related dementias are 5 times more costly to Medicare. Just to give you a sense of, I'm all about people and hug and love and peace, but I also recognize that there's money attached to some of the things that we think about when we plan. So it's important to think about those things. So next slide. So when we created this policy platform that I already sort of described to you, who we brought into the room, we came up with a development of shared understanding of the demographic trends, the living environment, health conditions, and access to care issues that impact seniors living in Contra Costa. But again, we had representatives from each area of Contra Costa County, so we took a broad look at this. We created the articulation of a policy platform to improve service access, service quality, and overall quality of life for seniors living in Contra Costa County. And finally, we wanted the endorsement of this strategic plan outlining specific strategies and steps to achieve the policy platform. So initially, we went to the Board of Supervisors, because you should have received the actual policy platform that I keep referencing. And if you go to the final advocate, number 4 on the final page, advocate to the Board of Supervisors and all city councils, and here we are, one of the all of city councils, to implement an aging-friendly policy that ensures that all new policies consider the impact on Contra Costa County seniors and utilize the aging-friendly components domains defined by the World Health Organization. And we actually thought maybe we could branch out a little further than WHO, because the World Health Organization standards for aging-friendly cities are pretty intense and might be a little overwhelming to think we can take that on overnight. And so we've looked at a lot of different things that are being done throughout not just our nation, but the world, because actually other nations do a much better job of keeping grandma and grandpa in the family than we do here in America for whatever reason. I could make excuses for us. We're a much larger nation. We're spread out. We're whatever. But the fact is, at some point, we decided that it was not okay to have grandma and grandpa considered the family anymore. So this sort of brings that back to us. So we found a model that we really liked that has been implemented in 500 different cities throughout the world, that's called 880 Cities. And 880 Cities it's an organization in Toronto, Canada, that basically says if you have a city that is friendly to 8-year-olds and 80-year-olds, then anybody can live in that city. And So what we're doing is hopefully, we applied for a grant to bring some of the 880 team down from Toronto, and we're going to have a learning lab in May. That learning lab will consist of looking at what this 880 cities looks like, and at the end of this learning lab day, participants will understand the key elements related to public space and transportation that create age-friendly communities, identify specific barriers to age friendliness in Contra Costa County, because we all know there are barriers, and we can all talk about why something can't happen all the time, but if we talk about what those are and how we can work around them, that's really important part of it. And develop and assess transportation and public space related project ideas that can be implemented to help Contra Costa County become more age friendly. So it's not something that has to happen overnight. We can pick things that are doable and start working on them. So that's the idea. We wanted to ask that 2 of you commit to being involved in that, and I have already voluntold Councilmember Pierce that she will be participating in this. So my daughter just taught me this word. She's in boot camp in the Navy, and she gets voluntold to do things. So I'm voluntelling or volunbegging you to do that. But I would hope 2 of you would participate in this learning lab, and we're very excited at the opportunity because it seems like there's a lot of really recognition about this aging population, and that we don't want to necessarily cut grandma and grandpa out of the family. We want to figure out how we can be inclusive in not just our homes but our communities. So thank you very much for the opportunity to present this to you today. And do you have any questions?
Any questions? Julie? Comments?
Actually, not a question, more a comment. I wanted to thank Debbie profusely for the work that she has done across Contra Costa County. She not only runs a nonprofit that helps seniors day in and day out, but she has worked extensively with our Council on Aging. And we have a member, Ron Tervelt, who is our delegate to the County Council on Aging. Unfortunately, his daughter is very, very ill in the hospital right now. She actually grew up across the street from us when we lived in Concord, and so my kids grew up with his daughter. And so I take this very personally. She's very ill. Started out with the flu, so everybody, if you haven't had your flu shot yet, get it, please. But you know, this is something that's incredibly important. All of you know that I traveled back and forth to Oregon for years taking care of my mother along with my dad, and then moved my dad down here, and he lived with us for the last 8 years of his life. And so I've seen close up, many of us have, what it's like aging in this area, and it's not easy. And had Dad not had family to take care of him, I hate to think where he would have wound up. Probably where many of our seniors do, and it's really sad. It's very hard to get around. There is a Mobility Matters type program. There is a senior mobility program that Debbie helps run to get people back and forth to their facility. But just County Connection is not enough. Taxis aren't enough. We don't do enough on that, and you know I'm all about transportation, so we're working hard to augment those programs. But if you haven't seen the kinds of programs that Debbie runs in her program, I will invite you to come on a guided tour with me at any time to see what kinds of programs can be offered for folks. Respite daycare, those kinds of things are just absolutely tremendous. And the more we can do as policymakers to make sure that we have aging-friendly policies in place in every single thing we do, it's important. We already are required to in transportation, but that's not enough. It needs to be every other policy that we have has to think about this 8 to 80 years old thing. And so if we can do that, Debbie already knows that I'm gung-ho on this stuff. So I'm absolutely there, and I would invite you all to think about what it is we can do to be more aware for our seniors. And that's everything from what we just did at CBCA last month, which is approve another 60 large type books for our library, to helping all of the other agencies that are trying to help our seniors. So I just wanted to tell Debbie thank you for your presentation and making us all more aware of how much more there is to do.
Thank you.
Any other comments?
Thank you.
Okay, well, let me echo what Julie was saying and build on that. Certainly our whole population in America and worldwide is aging. And as families become more and more separated, this is becoming more of an issue.
Yeah.
So I applaud you for recognizing that and trying to do something about it. And hope that you continue to gain in support. I think you can see you have the support of the council, and we'll get another member to join Julie and commit to also getting even more involved in what you're doing. It certainly sounds like a very worthwhile activity.
It is, and
So-
I brought the Pleasant Hill Commissioner from Commission on Aging just to represent that we do actually work with the commissions. Unfortunately, the situation with Ron is dire, so we are working with commissioners throughout the county. We really want this to be an all-hands-on-deck kind of thing, and we really appreciate your support.
Thank you. Thank you for your efforts again. All right. Moving on then into reports. Planning Commission, no meeting was held. Trails of Landscape, no meeting held. City Manager, report.
Yes, two items just briefly, Mr. Mayor. Number one, you heard tonight, and the audience did as well, that serving on the Contra Costa County Library Commission is fun. And therefore, we want people to know that with Joyce's absence now, we do have an opening for our Clayton delegate to that commission. The meetings are at night, and so transportation or ability to get there is necessary. We would be happy to share more with people if they give us a call at City Hall, but if anyone is interested in doing that and broadening their civic service aspects and getting involved, we would certainly appreciate their interest and let it be known. Secondly, I know the local newspaper has followed it, but tremendously, but the Tannenbaum that suffered spider mites out on the little hill over there on Main Street, otherwise known as the city Christmas tree that turned brown. It is being replaced. If it hasn't been replaced already today, I didn't go down to see, but we are bringing in a 16 to 18 foot white fir tree from the state of Oregon. It's over in Oakland. It will be inspected to make certain it meets our criteria, and then that will be replanted, and hopefully we expect Christmas celebration in December with the lighting of the Christmas tree to rejuvenate itself as they march down Main Street. That's it, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, moving up to council then. Councilmember Catalano.
So I had a couple items. So I attended our local Clayton Community Library Foundation board meeting on January 17th. This was my first meeting at that board as the council liaison. Very nice group of people, and Joyce, whom we recognize today, is continuing in that local board for sure. Then on January 25th, I attended the CPCA general meeting. On January 26th, I attended the Clayton Successor Agency Oversight Board meeting, which I think is going to be, in all likelihood, the last time we'll meet as the Oversight Board as the county takes over. And then January 30th, we had the City Council special meeting. And then last night, February 5th, I attended the CPCA Art and Wine Committee meeting. And that's it.
Good. Councilmember Diaz.
Only one thing to report. I was at the special council meeting on goals and objectives, January 30th.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Pierce.
Yeah, I had two Contra Costa Transportation Authority meetings. One was the full board, and the other was the Admin and Projects Committee, where we update contracts and review budgets and approve audits and all that sort of thing. And those were both very positive meetings. On the 18th of January, I attended the Association of Bay Area Governments series of meetings. We had a Finance Committee meeting and the General Executive Board meeting. This was the meeting where I passed the gavel to my successor, the next president of ABAG. After serving 4 years as president, I handed that job off, although I am still on the executive committee and I'm still the immediate past president. So I still serve on all of the committees and attend all of the same meetings. I just don't have all of the day-to-day approval of agendas and that kind of thing, unless I get called, which does happen frequently. On the 19th, the mayor and I had the opportunity to go and preview the new BART cars that you've been reading so much about. They were actually all working at the time we rode them. A couple of them got taken into the shop later on that afternoon. I guess all those politicos on board maybe just sort of made things go awry, but I don't know. Anyway, so they've been in and out of the shop. They're still tweaking them, but they are very, very nice, very comfortable, very light and bright inside. Not as many seats, but the seats that they do have are more comfortable. There's more room under the seats for stashing your briefcases and things like that. You can actually get a small suitcase under the seat instead of having to be out on the aisle. There are more things to hold on to. There are poles in the middle that have 3 rails going up, so there's a lot more room for a lot more hands to hang on in the middle of the cars. So I think they're going to be very successful once they get all the tweaking done and the fine-tuning done. They are certainly a whole lot more quiet, but they're also brand new. So we're hopeful as we, over the next 5 years or so, replace the entire existing fleet with new cars. And depending on how some other measures go, we may actually get additional cars as well, which will be necessary to accommodate the increased demand by bringing eBART online later on this year. I also attended the Metropolitan Transportation Commission committee meetings and board meeting, where we did take the action at the full board to ask all 9 counties to put Regional Measure 3 on the ballot in June. I attended the City Council goal-setting session, also attended the Contra Costa Conference of Mayors meeting over in San Pablo, and got to tour their brand new library, which is really gorgeous. It's really beautifully done. So that was exciting. On Friday, last Friday, the museum hosted their preview of their new exhibit, which is a collection of small collections, which you might want to go see. And on February 11th will be the Camellia Tea, that Sunday from 1 to 4. So you could also see the collection at that time. On Saturday, I was a panel. It was supposed to be 3 people, and it wound up being me and the moderator. So it was an hour-long discussion in the middle of a day at the League of Women Voters Winds of Change League Day. And it was a dynamic discussion about where we are going with regional planning. And the League has a pretty strong platform on where regional planning should go. I discouraged them from parts of that platform. They happen to believe that there should be one central body that encompasses the Air Board, the Bay Conservation and Development Commission, the Association of Bay Area Governments, and MTC as all one directly elected board. That's their platform, which they adopted in 2005. I made some very strong arguments why that should not be a directly elected board. How we've got 2 staffs together. We're working on getting 2 of the agencies together within the next year or so. And I think there's a way to get all the agencies working together through the Bay Area Regional Collaborative that we're already doing. But anyway, so that was a very dynamic topic, and it was amazing how fast an hour of discussion went. And then I wanted to let you all know that tomorrow morning at 7:30 in the morning, there's more going on in our little downtown. There will be a groundbreaking on the new garden for the museum at the property right next to the city parking lot. So that's at 7:30 tomorrow morning if you want to come on down and raise a shovel with us. So that's my report.
Well, all of our activities pale in comparison to Julie. You see what a wonderful job she does representing Clayton. I want to again thank her for doing that. On January 17th, I met with A.B. Fateman, who is the Executive Director of the Habitat Conservancy Board, and I am chair of that board this year, so I met with her to discuss plans for 2018. You'll be hearing more about that as I give you readouts of the actual board meetings themselves. On January 18th, went to the County Connection, the CCTA Board of Directors meeting. And Jim very nicely introduced me as his replacement. That was his last official meeting on the board. So I did get to meet some of the directors, and we'll be taking over that activity. Then on the 19th, did attend the rollout of the new BART cars with Julie, and she gave you a real nice summary of what we observed. I also wanted to add, I was very impressed with the electronic monitoring that is present in each of the cars to show you where you are in the system, what the next station is, and the next station after that with an estimated time. So it really helps you understand where you are in the system, and particularly for people from out of town, that's going to be very helpful. Then on the 25th, I attended the League of California Cities East Bay Division meeting, and we had all of the state legislators, both senators and assemblymen, attend that meeting and talk about their plans for 2018. Luckily, by and large, they agreed with the League's platform on issues, so there was a good, healthy discussion on that. Then we had the City Council goal-setting meeting on the 30th. On the 1st, did go to the Mayor's Conference with Julie in San Pablo and toured the library, and very impressive library that was converted from a drugstore before there. So it still had the very tall ceilings, but it gave you this big feeling of expanse, which books give you as you read those more and more. And they said their library card volume has tripled as a result of the new library. So I know many people are jealous of our community library here. We have a very active library. We also had a presentation from an outfit that is monitoring and trying to plan for the next big quake. And they used the Hayward fault as an example of the potential damage that may result in a major quake in the Bay Area. And it's very frightening. And it is anticipated. They say we get a major activity on the fault line between 100 and 150 years. And we're approaching, I think they said 139 now without major activity on the East Bay fault system. So just a word to the wise for everyone to prepare for that and to have your emergency plans in place, and certainly share that with the family. Next, did attend also the Clayton Museum program on Friday, saw the exhibits that were being introduced, also talked with a lot of people that have a wonderful history of Clayton involvement and have captured much of that on pictures, and many of them are on display, so I encourage people to go and take advantage of our wonderful museum here in Clayton. And I think that was about it, and also got the notice on the groundbreaking tomorrow. So that's it on reports. Moving then into public comment, and this is for non-agenda items. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes, and again, this is non-agenda items, so the council is unable to take action because it has not been announced to the public as an agenda item. But I do have 2 speaker cards. First one from Ann Stanaway. Just a moment.
Fire Department 2.
Okay. And please identify your name and address here in Clayton.
My name is Ann Stanaway, and I'm at 1553 Haviland Place in Clayton. And my remarks actually dovetail with the agenda items because we were talking about seniors and being able to deliver services to seniors. We were also talking about emergencies coming up, which is possibly an earthquake could come up, and we would need to have our first responders have access to all the homes in Clayton. And unfortunately, I stand before you today with a grim update. Despite my pleas before this council, our streets and parklands remain a perilous, even deadly environment for our first responders. Increased emergency response time due to blocked fire lanes and hazardous green spaces endangers emergency crews and the public they serve. This situation is more than unacceptable. It is outrageous. Lives are at stake. When will Clayton do the right thing? Turbid interest in matters affecting public safety is the first stage of urban blight. The infectious disease of the inner city ghetto has breached the ramparts of incorporated Clayton. Without aggressive enforcement of our ordinances and control of our public spaces, Clayton will cease to attract law-abiding citizens and become a haven for the lawless. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Next would be Joseph Zumbo.
Good evening, Mayor Hayden and esteemed council members. My name is Joseph Zumbo, and I work for Central SAM. We are your local friendly neighborhood wastewater sanitation district. I'm here today to talk about a program that we offer. It's an exciting free program. It's called the Central SAM Citizens Academy. It's our third year hosting this program, and we've received tremendous praise for it. It's an excellent opportunity for members of your community to come and learn about the collection and treatment of wastewater, as well as the engineering behind it all. It's a 6-week program. It starts Tuesday, March 27th. It features tours of our treatment plant and laboratory. I pass out the brochures with more detailed information if you guys have any questions regarding it. I would also like to leave brochures here for anybody else that might be interested in attending, or maybe post it up on city council if you could. It really is a tremendous program. I've been working for Central SAM for 5 years, and despite the fact I learned something new about us each and every year at the Academy. So I would just hope that you can help us spread the word, and I just appreciate you hearing me this evening. If you have any questions, that'd be great to hear them.
Any questions?
Sounds interesting.
All right.
Thank you very
Joseph.
much.
Okay, and thanks for the literature as well. Next up, we do have a card also for Pete Marshall, Fire Department.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and members of the council, town staff. Sorry, my hair's a little messed up. I just took the helmet off. I was raced over. I got here a little early to prepare for this and got a call over the hill in Pittsburgh.
It's a nice look.
For a fire. Yeah, I'm a little askew. So yeah, thanks for having me back. Yeah, just a few little updates. We are going to open up another fire station here pretty soon in the county, which is going to take pressure off of everybody. It's going to be the crew that we're going to staff up is going to temporarily be staffed at downtown Walnut Creek, where we had 2 companies there, and through the budget cuts, we're still fighting back from that back in 2008. We still haven't opened up all our stations. We're still four stations closed down, but we are reopening one of those, and they're going to be temporarily housed, trained up, and housed at Station 1 in Walnut Creek, which was a double company station, in anticipation of the Lafayette Station 16 opening up. And then when that gets finalized and built, then we're going to move that extra crew out there, so we'll have some coverage there. It's great for the entire county because it just takes pressure off of everybody. Each crew we add that we put back in will help, and that's less time we have to draw, a unit, out of Clayton or wherever we have to do for coverage elsewhere. So that really does help. We have a new piece of equipment right here in Clayton. So it's Station 11 right around the corner here. It's pretty exciting. We still need to get our people trained up on it, but one of the citizens here was just talking about access, and what this piece of equipment is. It's sort of like I would call like a dune buggy, if you can sort of picture that, all-wheel drive piece of equipment, small, but it houses 4 people, and it can go everywhere up on that mountain. It can go through all your trail structures and get in and out of places that even our smallest fire engines can't. It has room for medical equipment on there, and again, it's a 4-seater. It's very small, but it's very rugged, and it'll get us to places quicker around here up in these hills, and like I said, up in the mountain much faster. And it'll just access, we are of course advanced life support, so a fire department, so we can get our equipment back up there and start providing care much quicker up in the mountain. And we also have a partnership with the sheriff where we put firefighters and sheriffs on a helicopter, and we run that around too. So the combination of being able to use this new piece of equipment that's right around the corner and get up to our people quicker, provide the equipment and the access and the care to them, and then combine that with a helicopter coming in and hauling them out, or even taking them down out of the, depending on the severity. We do have that 4-seat if it's just like a broken ankle or a broken collarbone or something like that. So exciting. You'll see that. We'll post that, but it is right here. It's going to start here. We may get more of those, a few more of those for around the county fire department, but it's going to start here in Clayton. So I'm glad to report that. My time's up, so I will say that I did reach out to you. You have my email. I hope to see you at the graduation. That's the 23rd. So it would be great to see some of you there. And we have 24 right now out of the 30 left, which is about average. And we're going to have a good class graduating. So thanks for your time. Again, please contact me if I can do anything. I just want to keep the lines of communication open. So thank you very much. And if there's any questions, I'll take them. If not, I got to bolt on out of here.
We certainly don't want to hold you up here. Any questions?
No, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be short. I don't mean to be short. My day's still going strong. So
always busy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pete.
Thank
you very much. It's good to see you.
All right.
We'll be in touch.
All right.
Stay safe.
All right. Next item would be public hearings, but we have none this evening. Next item then would be 8, and it would be 8A, action items. Consider the approval of a resolution affirming and clarifying committee guidelines regarding the role of the Trails and Landscape Committee in landscape district maintenance, operations, and capital improvement projects. Have a report from the Assistant to City Manager Hoffmeister.
Yes, thank you, Mayor and members of the council. This is a follow-up from your meeting of January 16th. At that meeting, the current TLC committee members had asked the council to review and discuss the TLC's rules and responsibility as an oversight committee. At that meeting, the City Council reviewed the prior resolutions that had outlined responsibilities and duties of the TLC. And after discussion, the Council directed staff to prepare a resolution to reaffirm or affirm and clarify the role and expectations of the Trails and Landscaping Committee. I have prepared that document. It's attached to your resolution here this evening. And that document is a little bit maybe more robust than what was talked about at the last meeting, but my intention was to try to provide a document, as what was mentioned by the council, where anybody interested in serving on the Trails and Landscaping Committee could find a comprehensive document on our website that would lay out some of the background of the committee, how many committee members there are, as well as the district standards, and then the responsibilities of the committee itself. So we've laid that out. It does not delete anything from the prior resolutions. It takes materials from the prior resolutions and tries to incorporate all of that into here, as well as your direction from the last meeting is providing that additional clarification in a manner that was positive in direction to the committee and clarifying the role between the committee and what staff does. So this is here for your consideration this evening, and we hope that, or I hope that I've addressed your comments from the last meeting and have incorporated those appropriately into this document.
Have any questions to you?
I have one quick question. I mean, first of all, I do think it's great to have this. I think this will be very informative and helpful. So I have some of the responsibilities of the committee. I think a few of them, like there's the preparation of the annual report, and I think that's usually for the past fiscal year activities, just summarizing that. But then there are a couple items like, potentially make any recommendations about funding priorities or make any policy recommendations to City Council. And I'm curious sort of what's, I guess, the preferred mechanism as to how they would do that. I mean, I assume that, when they have a meeting, they'll discuss and maybe there's a consensus that they want to recommend something.
Thank you for bringing that up. Yes, the timing of that would be, as is indicated, as part of the budget process or the mid-year budget process. So we have an opportunity where we bring the proposed draft budget to them for their input. They also review the proposed landscape district levy, any adjustment in that levy by the CPI, which is part of the ballot measure, and they make their recommendations to the City Council, which we fold forward as your budget considerations.
So you'll be in part of the staff report, essentially, then it comes back to us. Yeah, perfect. Okay.
If I might, in addition, because sometimes that occurs only once a year when you're talking about budgets, as you saw tonight and on every meeting, there's an opportunity following a Trails and Landscaping Committee meeting for a member of that committee to come and report. So there doesn't need to be priorities that have to wait until they get into the budget. If the committee members feel a need to express some recommendations to City Council, that's the way the communication would flow.
Okay, perfect.
And if I can just follow up, I do also provide an opportunity if the committee members are available. We try to get a mid-year budget review to them prior to the council taking their mid-year budget, and that's just dependent upon people's schedule and the timing of when that material is available. So that gives them another opportunity to see how things are going and if there's anything of interest that they would want to bring to the council's attention.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Any questions, Julie?
Not actually a question. I just want to thank staff for doing a really comprehensive job of looking at our policies and practices and giving an overview so that perhaps the public has a better understanding of the oversight role of the TLC and what's actually expected of the membership there. So I think this is a really good comprehensive overview, and I very much appreciate all the work that went into it. Thank you.
No, I'll echo the support for that as well. I thought it was very comprehensive, and I appreciate the work put into it.
Okay, and it also looked like you went beyond just what the committee themselves are responsible for, but clarified what the city manager and staff do as well in support of that, and they take input from the TLC committee as well for agenda items and continued review of the performance. All right, I want to open it up at this time then to public discussion. This is a public comment item, so is anyone willing to address or wish to address the council or the staff? Dave, please come forward.
Can I get to see the language?
It was in the agenda packet.
Yeah.
It's in the agenda.
Yeah, it was online.
Your public viewing binder. There's. Yes. Public viewing binder.
Okay. Okay. And that was Howard Kaplan asking, who is the chair of the TLC, and I'm sure any questions can be discussed at the committee level and brought back if you have additional questions. All right, no other comments then before the council. Bring it back then and invite discussion then on what's been proposed here as a resolution that now summarizes and goes in, actually more than summarize, it goes into a lot of detail on what's expected as far as the roles and responsibilities of the committee and what the city continues to provide and their area of responsibility as well. So, Julie?
Yeah, I would just say I think we had a really thorough discussion of this at the last meeting, and it was the direction of the council as a whole to ask staff to come back with this report and an update for the resolution, updating the former resolution and with the attachment that affirms and clarifies the duties and the responsibilities of the TLC and the Citizens Oversight Committee for the Landscape District. So again, I will just say I think this does a really comprehensive job of looking at that. It makes it, I think, very clear what is expected. The Trails and Landscape Committee is an oversight committee. They make recommendations to the City Council. They're appointed by the City Council. The City Council then gives direction to city staff on the implementation of those recommendations as they see fit. So unless somebody else has a lot of comments, I would move adoption of the resolution.
Second.
No other discussion? It's been moved and seconded that we adopt the resolution as proposed. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No? Thank you very much. Confirming all, just reaffirming really what Julie had said. We appreciate the effort that went into this. This becomes now a standalone document that pretty well summarizes what should be expected when someone is appointed to the TLC.
And I will be sharing this resolution and the information attached to the resolution at the TLC's next meeting on Monday, January 12th.
All right.
So we'll pass that
January
back
12th?
February 12th. I'm sorry, February 12th.
Okay.
February 12th.
Okay. Thank you. All right. No other action items, council items. Any other requests or directives for future meetings other than what you've already mentioned? Seeing none, no closed session. We are then adjourned until our next regularly scheduled meeting on Tuesday, February 20th.